So we live in a house truck way out in the woods, and we heat our home using nothing but a wood stove. We've taken a while to figure out the system, but we finally have it pretty dialed in after spending 3 winters out here. We have to make sure that we have a full wood shed at the beginning of the season. Either we buy the wood or we process it ourselves from deadfall from the winter before. Chop it down to these little tiny pieces that are only about 8 inches long. It helps to dry a lot faster that way. Back when we lived in an apartment, we had an electrical bill, but we never used to be able to tell how much the electrical bill was going to be. It seemed to vary quite widely. And, old apartments aren't insulated super great. Now, since we live in only 200 square feet, and it is fairly well insulated, it really doesn't take much for it to heat up really nice. We have it down to a fine art now of getting this thing going. It only takes about 30 minutes for the house to heat up to a decent point. You just load it down in the morning, use the propane torch to get everything going, because, I don't want to mess around with matches, come on. Once you get the kindling in there and get it lighted, you leave the door open a little crack. That gives it enough oxygen to really get going. And then once it's burning well, you can close the door all the way. Add some more wood in. Make sure it's going well. That little thermofan is great because it redistributes the hot air without using any electricity. After that first burn goes down and turns into these nice hot embers, you can add in the larger pieces. And then once those catch and go on fire, you can close the damper at the bottom of the stove, and that restricts the airflow even more and slows the burn down, and I feel like it allows more of the heat to go out into the house rather than going straight up the chimney. Obviously, I'm not a wood stove scientist, but trial and error. We figured things out as time's gone by.